and water, sand, water and gravel, that is a cement, water and salt, seawater, understood? Potassium nitrate, sulfur and carbon, oxygen and water, petroleum, hydrocarbons and fluid, fuel additives. Density, how you can tell it will float or sink? By the density. Density means what? Is the only thing affecting whether something is floats or sinks. If an object has higher density than the fluid it is density means something weight, more weight. The fluid can mean liquid or gas, it will sink. We'll see one by one, we'll see the example, then you will understand it clearly. It is said that low density it will float on the top of the water, we can see it will float. Density is determined by an object's mass and volume, the weight of an object. When an object enters the water, two forces act upon it. It sinks because its weight is greater than the weight of the small amount of water it displaces. Understood? When you take a glass, everyone is drinking water every day, isn't it? In a glass only. You can do it now only, the experiment live. In that glass, put small objects like, okay, pen cap, a nail, or a small something, a toy. What happens? Which is lightweight, it will go down, it will settle down at in the glass or bowl, whatever you have taken. Understood? What is higher density? It will float up only. Heavy than water, heavier than water, more weight than water, it will keep floating up only. You can see it, it will not go down, it will not settle in the water, it doesn't sink. Understood here? Float and sink difference. A huge boat, on the other hand, will float because even though it weighs a lot, it displays a huge amount of water that weighs even more. Understood? You can ask me, a boat is there in the. It is clear in this example. A boat is so big, teacher, in the ocean, but it sinks. Why? It will float up only. Why? Because the water is more than the weight of the float. Understood? Weight of the ship, weight of the boat. The water, the ocean water is more. Got it? Objects like apples, wood, and sponges are less dense than water, they will float. You can see it up only, it will not go inside the water underneath. Many hollow things like empty bottles, balls, and balloons will also float. Understood, dear? That's because air is less dense than water. What do we come to know from that? That air is less dense than, understood, water. What happens when an object is placed in water? There are two primary forces acting on it. The force of gravity yields a downward force, and a buoyancy force yields an upward force. Understood? A downward force takes place, force of gravity. Upward force, force of buoyancy. If the gravitational force is less than buoyancy force, then the objects float. Object is a boat, for example. Otherwise, it sinks like a rock in the water. What are the different methods of separation which we are going to deal with in this lesson are? First one is hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, evaporation, distillation, filtration or sedimentation, and last is a separating funnel. These are the methods which we are going to go through in our lesson. One by one, we'll go through each topic doing these experiments. For separating different kinds of vegetables from the mixture of vegetables in the basket. Just I have said that, isn't it? Is it clear? Hand picking is a homework. 6th class children, homework is in the video itself, in my slides itself. You'll again call me, I don't know why, 10 times, and everyone asks me differently. Examples, type methods of separation of substances first, which I have explained. Hand picking, write it with the diagram, explain in 4 lines, and send me 6th class. All children listen carefully. With one more type of hand picking which we are going to go through today. These two will be the example. Understood? This method of hand picking can be used for separating slightly larger sized impurities like the pieces of dirt, stone and husk from the wheat, rice or pulses. Hand picking is a convenient method of separating substances when the quantity of impurities is usually not very large. See, it's with the example also with the diagram in the picture. With the hand only they are separating it. Got it? Second method of separation is winnowing. Winnowing is a method in which heavier components of the mixtures are separated from the lighter particles with the help of wind. Understood? The air is blowing there, it is getting separated. See how the woman is standing there. This method is used for separating grains from husk after the process of threshing. Threshing is a process of separating grain from the chaff. Dirt particles can be removed from the grains by winnowing. Understood, children? Corns are separated from straw by winnowing. What is the example, 6th class children? Is it clear? Homework is hand picking and winnowing. Explain it and write it. Hand picking, winnowing, decantation. Last but not the least, decantation for today. Third method of separation of substances. Decantation is a process to separate mixtures by removing a liquid layer that is free of participate, something liquid this is, or solid deposited from a solution. The purpose may be to obtain decant liquid free from particulates, or to recover the participate. Sedimentation and decantation methods are used for separation of insoluble substances which are heavier than liquids. Understood? In sedimentation process, heavier components of the mixture settles down. Just now we have seen like that same. Heavier particles settle down due to gravity. Decantation follows sedimentation. Decantation can be used to separate immiscible liquids that have different densities. For example, see in the diagram, when a mixture of water and oil are present in a beaker, understood, a distinct layer between two consistencies is formed with the oil layer floating on the top of the water layer. Oil will come on the top of the beaker, water will be down. We're doing separation of substances. We'll start the next part of it. Understood? Sieving and filtration. What we'll see the two topics today, Sieving and filtration. Sieving is a simple technique for separating particles of different sizes. A sieve such as used for sifting flour at tiny homes or has very small holes. The coarse particles are separated or broken up by grinding against one another. I am the screen opening. Understood? Sieving, we sieve the tea also every day in our kitchens. That is sieving. छन्नी से छानने को बोलते हैं sieving. Filtration is a process. Next topic is a filtration. Filtration is a process that removes particles from suspension in water. Removal takes place by a number of mechanisms that include straining, flocculation, sedimentation, and surface capture. A real life example of sieve is a tea strainer, just as I told you all, tea every day how we strain it, which is used to separate tea leaves from the water. The sieve prevents the large particles which cannot pass through the holes in the sieve and retains them on the sieve. What are advantages of it? Sieving analysis includes easy handling, it is easy to do, low investment cost, money is not required much, precise and reproducible results in a comparably short time, and the possibility to separate the particle size fractions. Therefore, this method is an accepted alternative to analysis method using laser light or image processing. Sieving we do in our kitchens. How do we sieve it? I don't need to explain it more, isn't it? Now only you can make tea and you can see in the kitchen. What about filtration? Filtration is a process in which the components of a fluid mixture are separated based on their size during the mixture's transfer through a porous material. In bioprocess filtration, two modes of operation are commonly employed. What is happening in filtration? Two methods are normal flow filtration and cross flow filtration. Understood? Power filters are routinely used in daily life. Pressure filters, such as vacuum cleaner, isn't it? Nowadays, in your home, most of them have vacuum cleaners with a dust bag in it, or paper filter, or an automobile engine with an oil filter cartridge. Many industrial operations involve filtration of slurries that contain high concentration of suspended solids. Got it, dear? What is filtration? Is a process of separation compounds from a solid or liquid mixture is called filtration. This is the definition. Let us see how to separate insoluble impurities from dirty water. Tone a filter paper and fold it to make a cone, like we see in the diagram. Pour the dirty water on the filter paper slowly until 2/3 of the funnel is filled. Understood? Filtration, see the diagram. We do it in the home, isn't it? The water when we are pouring in the big bottle or tanker, or the cone, we use it. There would be line for it. The liquid coffee is a filtrate. Understood? Now filter is filtering, so it is a liquid coffee. The left one, which we drink. Steeping tea is much the same whether you see a tea bag or a tea ball, usually a metal filter. The kidneys are an example of biological filter. What is filter in our body? Kidneys. Blood is purified by glomerulus. Essential molecules are reabsorbed back into the blood. Like straining pasta, all of them eat a pasta. The real examples everyday life I am giving you: tea and pasta. Many manufacturing and industrial processes need to isolate their own solids, gases, oils, water and other fluids to keep their system functioning right. Efficiently, filtration helps many industrial operations flow smoothly and more effectively. Take oil ridges for example. An effective filtration area can be defined as a total area of filter media that is exposed to the flow of liquid or the air that is unstable for filtration. This is often designated in square centimeter, square inches, or diagram of filtration. Understood all of you now, no? This conical flask, I think everyone have seen it. Cone. The method used include physical processes such as filtration, sedimentation and distillation. Biological processes such as slow sand filters or biologically active carbon. Chemical processes such as flocculation and chlorination. Chlorination of water and use of electromagnetic radiation such as ultraviolet light. The three chemicals most commonly used are the primary disinfectants are chlorine, chlorine dioxide and ozone. Monochloramine usually refers to as chloramine is used as a residual disinfectant. Next process which we will see today is crystallization. Crystallization is also a chemical solid or liquid separation technique in which mass transfer of a solute from the liquid solution to a pure solid crystalline phase occurs. In chemical engineering, crystallization occurs in a crystallizer. What are the types of crystallization? Evaporative crystallization, cooling crystallization from the solution or the melt. Reactive crystallization, the mixtures of salts or even covalent liquids, so covalent solids that have sufficiently different solubility in a solvent can be separated by crystallization and precipitation. Mother liquor is the part of the solution that is left over after crystallization. It is encountered in chemical processes including sugar crystallization. What there are two major steps of crystallization. Let's see what are they. Crystallization occurs in two major steps. First is nucleation, the appearance of crystalline phase from either a supercooled liquid, the liquid which is cooled, or supersaturated solvent. Solute is the salt or sugar example. Solvent is mostly 90% solvent will be water. Sometimes it will be milk or liquid, other liquid. The second step is known as crystal growth, which is increases the size of particles and lead to a crystal state. Crystallization is better than evaporation because during evaporation some impurities may remain dissolved in the solution even after filtration, which on evaporation contaminates the solid. Understood? Impure solids are obtained by evaporation and are further purified by crystallization. Crystallization is a good method. The final relatively easy but necessary step is to prepare the target compound in a usable form. This generally means producing of a concentrated solution of pure compound or pure dry solid which may or may not. Example, see the experiment here, diagrams here. Some of the crystallization examples here. Crystallization of water to form ice cubes and snow. Crystallization of honey when it placed in a jar and exposed to suitable conditions. Formation of stalagmites and stalactites, especially in the caves they use it. We don't use it much. Deposition of gemstone crystals. See what is happening in first diagram. The impure solid is dissolved in a solution. Understood? Lamp is being heated. Second, what happened? The solution is heated to evaporate most of the solvent. Got it? The third point, the hot solution is allowed to cool. The solid appears as pure crystals. First it is kept in a beaker and lamp is arranged. Understood? Then lamp is heated. Solid, what is left is pure crystal. It is kept there. The cold solution is poured off to obtain the crystals. Then it is put it on a plate to become crystals. The crystals may be dried by pressing them between the sheets of filter paper. Next is sublimation. What is sublimation process? Crystallization is finished for today. Understood? Next we go with sublimation of camphor. Sublimation is a type of phase transition or change in a state of matter just like melting, freezing and evaporation. Through sublimation, a substance changes from solid to gas. And you should see that picture of a few camphor means ice. It is heated, used in dayas. It becomes on the candle or diya in Diwalis we use it, isn't it? That form, liquid form. Then it goes to gaseous form, gas, solid, liquid, and gas. Through sublimation, a substance changes from solid to gas without even ever passing through a liquid phase. There is no liquid phase in the middle. See, it is used in diyas. It is just telling in the form of fume, bhap, flames. We don't have water, liquid there. Dry ice, solid carbon dioxide provides a common example of sublimation. Is it clear with the diagram also? There are many substances which are converted into gas from solid when heated and converted from gas to solid when cooled without converting into liquid. The middle phase, solid, liquid, gas. Liquid is not there in many substances. Understood? Solid is heated, it becomes gas. Evaporates. And from vapor form, it is heated. From the freezer, if we take it out and we heat it, it becomes solid, low liquid stage. Such substances are known as sublime, sublime, sublime. For example, ammonium chloride, naphthalene balls, camphor, etc. Isn't it? The other methods are clear. Today's topic is chromatography. What is the example in chromatography? A chalk, which you all have seen our teachers writing on the board, isn't it? The white chalk. They are different colors of chalks. Chalk chromatography is a simple method of separation used to distinguish different pigments in the dye or ink. Understood? How is chalk, red chalk, yellow chalk different in colors? How we can categorize it by the pigment. The pigment molecules separate based on their size, which affects how quickly they can be drawn by porous chalk by a solvent. Solvent which dissolves in it. Solvent means a water, mostly it is a water. Oil or isopropyl alcohol is allowed to absorb up the paper strip. Got it? The paper strip is, we are putting the paper in a glass of water or oil or isopropyl alcohol, but it is better to take water. Different molecules run up the paper at different rates. Understood? Paper, written paper, you put it on now only, you can do it in your homes. Isn't this an experiment? Take a glass of water, paper strip, paper which is written, put it inside the water. As a result, components of the solution separate. What happens? If it is blue, red, the water changes its color, and in the cases it becomes visible as strips of colors on chromatography paper. This is a different type of paper which is not easily available. It have to be purchased from the shops. Chromatography paper. So what did we learn from this? That the chalk which teachers use every day, it has pigment in it. That's why it has different colors of it. Next is the paper chromatography, which is a method of separating dissolved substances from one another. It is often used when the dissolved substances are colored, such as ink, food coloring, and the plant dyes. How is the food colored? Because of this chromatography. Next is we see is paper chromatography. It is a qualitative and analytical chemistry technique for identifying and separating colored mixtures like the pigments. It is used in scientific studies to identify unknown organic and inorganic compounds from a mixture. What does chalk contain, children? Calcium carbonate. Dust is very slightly soluble in water. When you are putting chalk in a water, what will happen? The dust, white dusty material, it will collect at the bottom of the glass. Now see the diagram on the computer dies. What's happening when water is dipped the chalk is dipped in water, what happens? Only that much part changes its color, not the whole chalk. Okay, got it? Most of the dust, what happens? Chalk dust settles at the bottom of the glass like fine soil or like the sand. Is paper chromatography clear? Put a chalk in each glass and observe the glasses. After few hours, what happens? The liquid is dissolved. The chalk just faster, very quickly dissolves, and that dissolves the chalk to the slowest. Why is it like that? The more acidic the liquid, the faster the chalk dissolves. Vinegar was a liquid that used the chalk to dissolve the fastest. How we find out the experiment? There are 4 glass beakers, 1 cup of olive oil, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of white vinegar, and 1 cup of water. 3 tablespoons of lime juice, 12 pieces of 3 centimeter long white chalk, and a stopwatch. Lemon juice and vinegar are acids. Chalk is made of rock called limestone, which contains a chemical called calcium carbonate, which chemists use as CaCO3. Acids react quickly with the limestone, breaking apart the calcium Ca and the carbonate CO3 to form calcium and carbon dioxide. Children, when a chalk stick is dipped in ink, the surface retains the color of the ink due to absorption of colored molecules, while the solvent of the ink goes deeper. Understood? Solvent of the it goes deeper and sticks to the bottom due to absorption. Now there are the 2 terms here: absorption and adoption. Absorption. Absorption is a bulk phenomena where the substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk, whereas adsorption is surface phenomena in which substance is accumulated only at the surface and not in the bulk. So when a chalk is dipped in ink, only the surface of it gets colored. Understood? Little of the chalk only gets colored. How much you dip? Only that much only, not all. If you break the same and notice the inside portion of the chalk still remains white. Got it? This is concluded as adsorption. ADSORBTION. Mixtures can be separated using a variety of techniques. Chromatography involves solvent separation on a liquid medium. Are you listening, children? Understanding? Distillation takes advantage of differences in boiling points, whereas evaporation removes the liquid from solution to leave a solid material. The mixtures how are separated, the different techniques: chromatography, distillation, and evaporation. Is it clear? Solid separation. How do solids separate? By sieving chana, as we did it. Just like sieving the flour atta. You can sift earth material. What about sedimentation? When small enough particles have been obtained through the crushing and sieving process, the resulting material can be mixed with water, creating a slurry. Flotation tanks, magnetic separation, filtration, and evaporation. We did centrifugation and distillation. Understood? This is separation of different materials from the mixture. What all happens? One by one we have seen all the methods: solid separation, sieving, sedimentation, flotation tanks, magnets, filtration, evaporation, and centrifugation with distillation. Is this lesson clear? We conclude the lesson here. Okay, separation of substances. All 6 children understood? Go through it thoroughly. If there are any doubts, tell me. Okay, this week write your exams properly, so there is no homework. All the best. Do your exam neatly. Send it to teachers within the time 4 o'clock. All the best. May God bless you. Assalamu alaikum. See you in the next class. Thank you.